you're watching this, then one of two things has happened. Number one, you're a subscriber and you've seen this new video pop up. Number two, you've been sent here by future me because you have asked an FAQ. If you're number two, then hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Emma Cownley and I'm a freelance copywriter and blogger. If you're number one, hey buddy, welcome back. I'm making this video here today because I get a lot of aspiring freelancers and new freelancers reaching out to me with questions about how to get started, how to get set up and what they need to do, etc. The only problem is I've been here on YouTube for about 5 years and I've pretty much made every video under the sun covering these topics. Unfortunately, they're scattered to the four winds across the seas of time. So I thought I would bring them all here together in one, hopefully quick video that answers all your questions, that I can just send this video out to whoever is contacting me and hopefully check off a lot of the queries that you have and answer them comprehensively. Before I get into it, let's do the housekeeping. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you find yourself enjoying it at any point. Drop me a like, it really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. They hate me because I swear, and quite fucking right. Also, if you take any really good, solid value from the advice I share here, you can repay me with a coffee. You can buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. Going to be real with you, we're getting into the time of year when £3 is going to buy me 3 bunches of daffodils from Tesco, and I really love daffodils. They're one of my favourite flowers to have. So if you nip over to Ko-fi and make a donation, I'm going to spend that shit on daffodils. I'm going to put a picture on my Twitter, it's going to be beautiful, and you all know that you did that for me. Right, let's get down on into it, shall we? Okay, first question. Do I need to pick a niche? And if so, which niche should I pick? This is a very difficult question because you will find one camp of the freelance community heavily in favour of niching down to a specific thing. Their argument being, if you have a very strong, solid niche, be that the type of thing that you like to work on, blog posts, white papers, web copy, etc., or the sector that you operate within, healthcare, finance, tech, lifestyle. They're saying if you have a strong niche, it means that you can market yourself super effectively. You can hit all those keywords, you can hyper target your audience and really make sure that they know that you are the go-to for that type of content. And fair enough, I can see their point. Also, if you're already a writer or you already work within a specific sector, it kind of makes sense if you're going to become freelance to transition into that sector as a freelancer, because you can go to LinkedIn and say, hey guys, in my industry that I'm already connected with, I'm freelance now, come hit me up. You've already got the contacts in place, you've already got the knowledge. It's going to be a lot easier for you to build a client base, leverage your expertise and really get your business going quickly. On the flip side, I know plenty of freelancers that say, fuck niching, be a generalist, accept every job, don't limit yourself. You know, I prefer to work when I'm doing lots of different things. It challenges me, that's what I love. You know, why limit yourself? And to be fair, I was a generalist when I started freelancing and it took me 3 years before I decided I did want to niche down. And the only reason I niched is because I was finding that I got a lot more joy from certain types of jobs than others. And I wanted to do more of what I loved and less of what I didn't like. And that's why I did it. So, I mean, it's a very tricky argument. I've made a video on it. I'll link it below. If you want to go off and do extra research on that, please feel free if it's something that you're puzzling over. Otherwise, do what you want, do what you feel, do what feels smart to you, do what brings you joy. Number 2, what rate should I charge? What a question. And I say that because when you're freelance, there is no correct answer. Really, people will pay what they feel your service is worth. They'll pay what you ask for. you can charge whatever you like. That being said, I know that answer is not helpful. So what I would suggest you do is head to the Pro Copywriters website and take a look at the latest copywriting survey. That is assuming that you're a copywriter. It will give you a benchmark figure for every freelancer of every level and every tenure length across the United Kingdom, a standard day rate that we're all charging. The survey also breaks down by experience level what people are charging. So if you would like to benchmark yourself and your rate against your experience level, that's a really good place to start. What I did when I started freelancing is I took the wage I was on when I was working in-house. I broke that down per day and per hour, and I used that as kind of my base level and kind of went from there. If you are kind of stuck and want to get into the nitty-gritty of how to make quotes, how to price things, how to charge effectively, I would recommend Tom Albrighton's book, Cash Money Freelancing. It is chef's kiss when it comes to making good money as a freelancer. Revolutionary. Amazing, fantastic.
Talented, brilliant, incredible.
I will link it for you in the description box below. Do that, go there, buy that. I would also give here a word of caution. Don't be tempted to undercut other freelancers or go in just below your own kind of quote once you've worked out how much you're going to charge, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to suffer. You haven't got one over on everyone else in the community. You haven't snatched a job because you kind of underquoted. You're literally the only person who loses here, because there are other freelancers out here charging real rates, real money, getting paid a decent wage for what they do, and there are clients who absolutely will pay those rates. The people who are cheap and try to haggle you down are very, very rarely decent clients, and those jobs usually go south pretty quickly. I speak from experience. I've talked to a lot of freelancers in my industry, and that's usually the way that it goes. So in order for our industry to kind of establish itself as quality and value, we all need to be charging good rates. Respect yourself, mate. I'll include a link in the description box below for how to price projects and how to figure out your rate. So if you want a lot more info, get Tom's book, watch my videos, charge a decent rate. Question number 3, how do I get started? What a question to ask me, my guy. What a question. I mean, the answer to that is going to be different depending on your current circumstance, the type of freelancing that you want to go into. Oh my God. Owen. What the fuck? Well, now that I've had a fucking heart attack, let's continue, shall we? So everybody's circumstances are different, is what I'm trying to say, and it's a really difficult question to answer. I'll tell you how I got started is that I had a 6-month period before I handed in my notice at my permanent role, where I used the time to start fostering relationships with clients, starting to work on freelance jobs out of hours. I used the time to build my freelance writing website, get a cold pitching list. I just spent that whole time, gearing myself up for it. Anything that I earned through freelance work, I tucked away into a savings account, and that meant that when I finally went freelance, I had enough money to keep myself afloat for a month while I cold pitched like a motherfucker. I also had a lot of contacts in place because I'd done the work to garry up those relationships while I was securely permanently employed. But of course, that approach isn't right for everyone. It's not going to suit everyone, which is why I made this video on how to get set up quickly and properly as a freelancer. So that's there for you to watch. I would also recommend reading Sarah Townsend's book, Survival Skills for Freelancers. It's a great book to help you kind of get set up properly and get your mindset right for freelancing. But it's also a really good book to read if you're not sure whether you want to be a freelancer. Go give that a read. It'll give you a little snapshot of life as a freelancer and will really help you kind of make the call. That's how you get set up. You do what feels good to you and what is sensible for you. or you exactly follow everything that I said in my video to the letter. Question number 4. How do I make a freelance writing portfolio? Again, my guy, very subjective. I've made an entire video on it. It's one of my most viewed videos of all time, which leads me to believe that more people are asking this question than are asking me this question, and this question definitely needs answering. Long story short, I'm going to say if you're already working as a freelance writer, you can use samples of work that you've already got. Make sure you get permission from your employer before you use them. Stick them in your portfolio. If you're wanting to niche down, make sure that you're only using portfolio samples that support the type of work that you want to do or the sector that you want to work in. If you want to work as a healthcare copywriter when you're freelance, don't have a portfolio full of samples of fashion copywriting. It's not fucking relevant, doesn't show your skills, it's not going to attract the kind of clients that you're wanting. Yeah, so if you're already a copywriter, take bits that you've worked on in the past. I'm going to say between 4 and 6 samples feels good, covering a range of the types of things you want to be working on. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, there you fucking go. If you're a brand new freelancer and you don't have any work yet, you can create mock pieces. Just make sure that you say on the page that this is a mock piece, this is not real, it's just a sample of what I can do for you. And again, make sure that you're doing the types, you're showing the types of work you want to be attracting and the types of clients you want to be attracting. If you want to work in email, don't be writing a load of blog posts, it's not relevant. Write some email samples. You get the picture. Make sure that your samples are really, really relevant. Are we doing this? Really? I'm so sorry. If you're new here, just know that she does this all the time. And if you're going to keep coming back to watch these videos, this is what you're dealing with. It's what I deal with every day. You'll need your portfolio firmly in place before you start pitching for work as a new freelancer. So make sure that is done. Don't be fucking long about it. It doesn't have to be a long process. You need to get that shit up. If you don't have that up, you cannot pitch for work and you can't make money unless you're pitching for work. So stop being fucking long about it. Stop titting around with the samples, faffing, tweaking, overthinking it. Be super precise about what you're going to have in there, what you're trying to do, who you're trying to attract, create those samples and get them up. You can use websites like Canva to kind of, if you're not a designer that is, to make them look pretty, kind of get the copy in situ and kind of give a flavour of what it would look like. Stop tweaking it. Stop overthinking it. Get it on the portfolio site now. Final question. Where can I find work? Where can I find clients? So the best places to find good clients and freelance work will differ from freelancer to freelancer. So the way that I started my freelance business was to make use of the contacts I already had professionally through LinkedIn and just over email. As soon as I went freelance, I put the word out, hey guys, I'm freelance now, you can hire me, this is how much it will be, blah, 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 blah. Because they are already connections, they're already warm leads, they already have a requirement, and they already know the quality of my work, so it's really easy to go to them. I also did a lot of cold pitching. I just Google searched for the types of businesses that I was looking to work with, and I identified the primary contact in that business, and I wrote a tailored email pitch with samples, with my rate, with my contact details, with my availability, finished with a strong CTA and invited them to work with me. I did a video on it. She's very old. She's a geriatric video in the life cycle of my channel. All the info is still good. I use it all to this day. So cold pitching, using my existing contacts, and that's how I built my business to where it is now. Nowadays, it's a slightly different story. So my best clients nowadays come from peer referrals and social media, which is really interesting. And the way I figured that out is I looked at my revenue sheet. I looked at all the clients I'd worked with over the last few years, the people that had a decent budget for my work, they hired me to do stuff that I really enjoy and like working on. They're really nice to work for. They're long-term clients. These are all the things I'm looking for when I'm going through to identify a quality client. I looked at all of those, worked backwards, and figured out where had they come from. Where had I acquired these people? And as it transpired, they were usually referrals from other freelancers that I'm friends with, or they'd contacted me directly through Twitter or LinkedIn to hire me. And so now I invest all of my business development efforts in my community of freelancers and also in making sure I've got banging social media posts and that I'm showcasing what I've done and what I can do. And that's how I get clients nowadays. So there we go, the most common frequently asked questions by new freelancers answered here in one video with all of the resources in one place. If there is anything you would like to know that I have missed, leave a comment below or find me on Twitter or LinkedIn and hit me up and I'll see if I can help. Otherwise, I hope this was useful to you because it's taken me 25 minutes and 12 seconds to record. And on that note, I'll see you back here in 2 weeks for more Kiss My A's. Take care and peace out. 2 cat interruptions climbing all over me. Little cat is climbing all over me.